he's forgiven you for such a huge mistake, it doesn't seem like you doing enough to make sure it doesn't happen.
He walked into the courtroom full of confidence, denying the child and looking down on everyone around him. But when the DNA results were revealed, his entire attitude came crashing down. The truth didn't just expose him, it humiliated him in front of Judge Lauren, the mother, and a stunned courtroom. Mr. Rice steps into that courtroom with his heart on the line and tells the judge straight up, if the DNA test proves he's not the baby's father, then he's done. 13 years of marriage, gone just like that. Mrs. Rice owns up to being unfaithful, but insists without a shadow of a doubt that the baby she's carrying is his. And just like that, the tension is set. This is where the storm begins.
Ready to walk away from your 13-year marriage because you believe the child your wife is carrying is not yours. You claim Mrs. Rice has a history of cheating, and if today's paternity test proves you are not her child's father.
Ah, now I get it. No wonder the man feels like their marriage is dangling by a thread. He says she's cheated before, and from the way he talks, this isn't the first time her words have sounded too slippery to trust. The real question now is, what exactly has Mrs. Rice done in the past to break this man's trust so badly? Because whatever it is, it left some deep scars.
I did step out and, I was enjoying life, but I realized my wrong. And I'm here to correct it because I know for a fact that this is his baby. Like, during the whole process, I decided to change my life for him because I appreciate everything that he brings.
You can tell just by looking at her that the guilt is eating her alive. She's not even trying to dodge it. She admits she messed up and is now trying to right her wrongs. It's not every day you see someone who strayed from their vows take full accountability, but still, it makes you wonder, what exactly did she do that brought them to this breaking point? That's the answer we're all waiting for.
It used to be people in my platoon saying about other people's wives or their wives doing this, their wife. And I'm like, no, my wife's not doing it. I don't believe none of that. And then come to find out, she messaged me within probably a year, I was almost done with my tour. And she messaged me saying she was pregnant. It broke my heart. I'm like, how can you be pregnant when I'm here?
Man, this kind of betrayal would wreck just about anybody. Imagine being deployed, serving your country, only to come home and find out your wife got pregnant while you were away. And just when you think you've survived the worst, boom, it turns out she was cheating again after you forgave her? That's the kind of emotional chaos that would make a man lose all grip on reality. This isn't just drama, it's heartbreak in real time.
We separated the whole rest of the 2018, and then we end up getting back together January 2019. And throughout that whole beginning of the year, everything is all right, but I keep seeing messages. Now she's not deleting them. Now I'm seeing the messages from another dude.
Honestly, Judge Lauren hit the nail on the head with this one. If Mrs. Rice claims she's cut ties with her old flings, then why are there messages still floating around in her phone? Her husband's sitting there, completely unaware that she's still got open lines to her past. It's the lack of transparency that stings the most. You can't say it's over if the evidence on your phone says otherwise.
Cut off means hold on. Cut off means don't talk to him.
I understand.
Right? So if we're back on now, there's such thing called blocking a number.
Ugh. Finally, someone said what needed to be said. Thank you, Judge Lauren, for giving her that reality check. It's 2025. If someone's bothering you or you don't want contact, there's a block button for a reason. No one's forcing her to keep their messages. At this point, she's just spinning a web of excuses instead of owning up. It's exhausting to watch her try and justify what's clearly unacceptable behavior.
Together 13 years, and I never got her pregnant. So that kind of that's another doubt. I'm like, I don't think I could have kids.
Wait a minute, so they've been together for 13 whole years and she's never gotten pregnant by him, not even once? Yeah, now I get why Mr. Rice is side-eyeing this pregnancy. It's not just suspicion, it's history talking. I mean, if I were in his shoes, I'd probably have the same doubts. That baby bump might be growing, but so is the cloud of uncertainty hanging over this relationship.
To your testimony, the sperm count was low. And so then in that case, really you need a full semen analysis to look at all the factors and actually count the number of sperm to see whether it is or is not possible to father a child.
Whew, it's not looking good for Mrs. Rice right now. Mr. Rice said he took a sperm count test at home, and guess what? Negative. But that wasn't enough. He went and had it done professionally, and boom, same results. That means the man has solid medical proof backing his claims. So now the spotlight's on Mrs. Rice, and honestly, her story is starting to fall apart one awkward piece at a time.
That nothing happened. This is just a miracle baby. That's just how I'm looking at this,
Okay.
Yeah, because I didn't do anything with anyone.
Even with all the pressure building up, Mrs. Rice is standing firm, holding on to her story like it's her last lifeline. She swears she didn't sleep with anyone else. But we're at the point where talk is cheap. The DNA results are finally here, and this is the moment everything could flip. Will she be vindicated, or will this whole situation come crashing down? Let's find out the truth once and for all.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Rice, you are the father.
Mr. Murray wasn't playing games when he brought his wife into that courtroom. He straight up told the judge he believes she cheated on him while stationed in the Army, and now he has serious doubts about whether their child is even his. But Ms. Brown Murray, his wife, is standing firm with a broken heart, insisting she knows deep in her soul that the child belongs to him. And just like that, the drama kicks off.
Today you say you stand before me outraged because your husband has accused you of infidelity while serving in Iraq. Furthermore, you claim he now doubts paternity of your child.
Let's be real. Being in the Army means being surrounded by all kinds of people, including plenty of men. But just because you're around temptation doesn't mean you have to act on it. Still, her husband's doubts didn't come from nowhere. So now the big question is, what exactly happened while she was deployed that's got Mr. Murray questioning whether the child she brought home is really his?
And I assured him every day I Skyped with him every day. We would Skype every day, and when I wasn't able to Skype, it was because there was a bomb going off or something that I would have to get in the bunker and for hours and hours.
Now hold up. If what she's saying is accurate, then maybe Mr. Murray jumped the gun here. Ms. Brown Murray claims that even while she was away serving, she stayed connected to her husband, constantly checking in and reassuring him of her faithfulness. So what changed? Why does he suddenly believe she was sleeping around? Something must have gotten into his head that flipped the whole script upside down.
See her again, and if I do see her again in one piece, is she still gonna have love for me? It's a lot of men's on base, younger men. Keep in mind, I'm 22 years older than my wife, so that has a lot to do with it, my being guilty or bad conscience.
A bombshell like this can mess anyone up emotionally. I mean, come on. If I were in Mr. Murray's shoes, I'd want to be glued to my partner 24/7 too, especially while they're away on risky missions. But that kind of longing doesn't automatically mean betrayal. So again, why is he so convinced the child isn't his? There's still a missing piece in this puzzle, and it's messing with everyone's sanity.
Young boy told me, he said, which really, this is when I really got worried. He said, in the military's world, when they overseas, they have a group of people, and that group got to stay with each other.
Aha! So this is where it all started to spiral. Mr. Murray told the judge that while his wife was away serving, he bumped into some guys in the military who started talking. Whatever they said planted a seed of doubt in his mind, and from there, the paranoia grew. It sounds like Mr. Murray is the kind of man who reads way too deeply into things once suspicion starts to brew.
Husband got that piece of information?
Yes, but that's not true. Everybody in the military don't cheat on their spouse, and we don't have a code in the military.
Mr. Murray, let's just be honest. I mean, this situation it's been bothering you.
Wait, hold up. He brought a witness? Are you kidding me? That's next level suspicion right there. Imagine being so deep in your thoughts that you actually go out of your way to track down someone from the military to back up your fears. That's not just overthinking, that's obsession. But hey, maybe this witness has something to say that'll shake things up. Let's hear it.
Well, first and foremost, I don't want to bring any discredit upon the military because the actions of soldiers, they do not reflect the military.
Okay, now it's starting to make sense. The witness dropped a real bomb. Apparently, on some missions, soldiers are required to behave like they have no family at all. They're trained to blend in, stay detached, and sometimes even act single for the sake of the job. That explains a lot, but it also makes the whole situation even murkier. No wonder Mr. Murray's head is spinning.
I'm asking her, I thought it was kind of odd. Why is he calling you? Oh, just to make sure I'm doing okay. Make sure you're doing okay? Well, is something wrong? No.
Wait, what did she say? Because whatever just came out of her mouth clearly hit a nerve. Mr. Murray looked like he was about to explode, and honestly, I get it. If I were in his position and heard that, I'd be furious too. Now she's got some serious explaining to do, because whatever joke or comment that was, it clearly didn't sit well with her husband at all.
It's just the type of person I am. I mean, that's the way I talk on the phone. It's not anything about it. My husband just doesn't understand friendship. He doesn't understand that.
She's not backing down one bit. Ms. Brown Murray says she wasn't mocking her husband. She claims claims she was on the phone, casually talking to a friend, and Mr. Murray just misunderstood everything. She insists there was no ill intent, just a massive miscommunication. But that's the tricky part about trust. Once it's shaken, even the smallest things start to feel like a slap in the face.
You know, you return home to continue a relationship, friendship with some of your fellow servicemen, even if they're members of the opposite sex and married.
Let's be real for a second. Judging by the kind of man Mr. Murray is, it's not surprising that he's spiraling with doubt. Some people cheat, yes, but there are others who remain fiercely loyal even under pressure. The real issue here isn't just what happened. It's whether Mrs. Brown Murray is one of those people who stayed true, or if she crossed a line that can't be undone.
Even with the doubt, he's still a good husband and he's still a good father. He sits there and he takes time out with her, he plays with her, he takes care of her when I'm at work. So even with the doubt, he's still a good father. He still takes care of her.
That's fair, honestly. Just because a child doesn't look like you doesn't mean they aren't yours. Genes can play all kinds of tricks. But let's not pretend. Those doubts have been eating Mr. Murray alive. At this point, there's only one thing that can settle this battle once and for all, and that's the DNA test. Let's just hope for everyone's sake that he gets the answer he's praying for.
It has been determined by this court that you are her father.
Thank you. Thank you.
He is caught in the middle of two fiery moms in court today. On one side, there's his mother, Ms. McBirth, who is fed up with her son, Mr. Hughes, having so many kids. That's why she's denying his potential grandchild and insisting on a paternity test. What a wild situation.
This woman is trouble. She is trouble with a capital T. She, as a matter of fact, I call her the 3 T's. Trash, trouble, and trifling. That's what she is.
Wow, what a woman. She actually brought a picture of the father and baby to court, claiming they don't look anything alike. Meanwhile, the ex-girlfriend is firing back, insisting that Ms. McBirth is just in denial and projecting her own feelings onto the baby's paternity.
So why do you think she's in so much doubt over your child?
I have no idea, to be honest. Like, maybe because he is so white.
Because he all the white. He ain't got no black in him.
Ms. McBirth, that was an incredibly racist comment. Does she not realize how unpredictable genetics can be? To say something like that in court is shocking. Sure, she might be frustrated with her son having kids left and right, but that's no excuse to be cruel to his baby mama, uncalled for.
Okay, so a little over a year. Were you in a committed relationship?
I thought we was.
You did, okay. And was he the only person you were intimate with during that time?
Yes, ma'am.
And now we've got 3 wild women in court. Where did all this come from? Who is this lady? And why is she meddling in Ms. Jackson's business? If Ms. Jackson says she was in a committed relationship with Mr. Hughes, then just let her be. This is getting out of hand.
And it's all she has done is she's been trying to put the baby on us.
Yeah, you have. Don't sit up and act like you haven't.
But the thing about her,
She's trying to push that baby on. That ain't mine. I didn't sleep with her.
So, we got 3 wild women in court. Where did all this come from? Who is this lady? And why is she meddling in Ms. Jackson's business? If Ms. Jackson says she was in a committed relationship with Mr. Hughes, then just let her be. This is getting out of hand.
Tell me about the first time you met Elijah.
I seen him at the doctor's office where I was taking his real children to the doctor, and it was a newborn, and I walked past him.
Whoa, hold up. Look how this woman is ready to go head to head with Judge Lake. So many things are wrong with everything Ms. McBirth just said. First, his real children? She was taking her son's real children to the hospital?
I'm sick of all these little hookers trying to say my son is a daddy. I'm sick of it. I get babies dropped off here, dropped off there. I'm sick of it.
But
it stopped today.
A sex party? And the police showed up? What on earth? But seriously, where was the baby during all this chaos? And someone needs to let Ms. McBirth know that her days of picking up babies aren't ending anytime soon. Her very mute son already has a small army of kids.
Miss McBirth, I have to ask you, you're very tough on Miss Jackson. Do you have anything to say about your son's behavior?
My son has, yeah, I know exactly what type of person he is. He just as trifling as she is.
You know Judge Lake isn't about to sit there and let these crazy moms run the show. She's up, asking all the right questions. Meanwhile, Ms. McBirth's son has been silent this whole time. No clue if he's even claiming the child. Unreal.
Do you believe you are Elijah's father?
I just gave him the benefit of the doubt because I'm biracial. My father's white, you know, so
Wait, she married a white man? After all the racist comments, she still has the nerve to be like that about her potential grandchild? And considering her own family history is biracial, there's even more reason the baby could look white. Ms. McBirth is just proving how unreasonable she really is. After all the non-stop bickering, it's finally time to hear the results.
Mr. Hughes, you are Elijah's father.
No! That's a lie!
This marriage is hanging by a single frayed thread. Mr. Threlkeld, a man who spent years serving his country in the military, comes back home only to be smacked with the ugly truth. His wife has cheated on him, and not just once. Now he's standing in court saying if the DNA test shows he's not the father of this baby, then he's out. No more second chances. This is where their courtroom war begins.
Mr. Threlkeld, you have entered this courtroom with a marriage on the brink of divorce. You state that while you were out of the country serving in the military, your wife paraded around town with other men.
Did he say a few indiscretions? Ha, that's putting it way too lightly. Mr. Threlkeld spills it all in court, saying his wife didn't just cheat once, she's admitted to stepping out on him multiple times. And after all that betrayal, he's standing there with just one burning question. Is that child actually his? Because at this point, it's not about love, it's about truth. And if he's been lied to again, he's done for good.
So I thought we were gonna, settle it. Well, it turns out his wife and my wife were friends, and she had found out that she was actually stripping as we spoke. At the time, I found out about it. I thought, it was all just a hoax. So I went, calmly to the internet lounge.
Wait, she was posting those kinds of pictures while still married? And to top it off, she was out there living the life of a stripper? I mean, come on, how do you even defend something like that? If I were Mr. Threlkeld, that would have been the final straw a long time ago. She's got some serious explaining to do because there's no way this doesn't feel like a slap in the face.
Deal with, tell me about this guy that's going on. And she says, oh, it's nothing, it's just a friend, etc. The same BS that every girl says.
First of all, we were done. He hacked my Facebook. He invaded my privacy.
Unbelievable. If she was that unhappy, then why didn't she just walk away from the marriage? No one was forcing her to stay. But instead of ending it the right way, she chose to publicly disrespect her husband while still wearing that wedding ring. That's cold. Seriously, there are lines you don't cross in a marriage, and she didn't just cross them. She lit them on fire and danced on the ashes.
We were not together. We had a phone conversation, and he had said, we're gonna get a divorce, and I'll send you the divorce papers. And then we hung up.
So, let me get this straight. She claims she needed more money? For what exactly? Mr. Threlkeld already provides for her, so what's the extra cash really for? Because stripping doesn't sound like a side hustle for survival. It sounds like an escape plan. That excuse has got to be one of the weakest I've ever heard. She didn't need money. She just wanted out, and this was her reckless way of doing it.
In a month,
I had to
tax-free.
It mainly.
This is what I'm trying to understand. Ms. Threlkeld, you say you guys were done.
Yes.
So in other words, these things that he's finding on your Facebook.
Oh, now it's starting to make sense. It seems like she was already emotionally done with the marriage, and stripping was just her exit strategy. She needed an excuse to let go, and this was it. And now, seeing Mr. Threlkeld unravel like this in court, it's just heartbreaking. You can tell he didn't see this coming. The betrayal was building for a long time, and he was the last to know.
To make matters worse, ma'am, when I actually went out the day I was supposed to come back home from overseas, we were told before we even got on the plane at Fort McCoy, Wisconsin, that there's going to be the color guard, the motorcycles that drive, in front.
Can you imagine coming home from a military deployment, ready to hug your family, only to find no one there to welcome you? That's exactly what happened to Mr. Threlkeld. He says while every other soldier was reunited with their loved ones, his wife and kids were nowhere in sight. She didn't even show up at the airport. That's not just distance, that's pure emotional abandonment, and it speaks volumes.
When she picked me up,
Yes, I did.
she came dressed in her clear hooker shoes and this.
Hooker shoe.
That's one whole outfit?
I think that's a dress is what they call it. I don't know.
Yeah.
She's in clear shoes with money still in them.
I mean, seriously? She showed up to pick up her husband wearing her stripper outfit? That's not just bold, it's straight up disrespectful. At this point, it's hard to be shocked by anything Mrs. Threlkeld does. If she can pull a stunt like that without shame, then who knows what other lines she's crossed. Mr. Threlkeld is clearly holding back a lot of pain, and honestly, watching this unfold is nothing short of gut-wrenching.
Snatched the phone from her and I started going through it. And as I was looking through it, there was a number that she'd called like 13 times. So I called him right back. And he answers the phone, hey, I said, who is this? Are you the one that's been my wife? He said, yes, I've been.
Just wow. She didn't even wait for the ink to dry on their divorce papers before getting a new boyfriend? That's not heartbreak, that's humiliation. What's even worse is the complete lack of remorse in her tone. She doesn't seem to care one bit about what she's done or who she hurt. And honestly, with all that's come out in court, I'm really starting to doubt that Mr. Threlkeld is the child's father.
All right, we keep skipping the event or events that led to the conception
Actually, ma'am,
of your last child in which you feel you may or may not be the father?
Let's be real. Did Mr. Threlkeld actually think a baby would fix all of this? She was already living a double life while he was in the army, and somehow he thought getting her pregnant would magically bring her back? That was wishful thinking at its most tragic. She was already gone, emotionally and mentally, and now he's left standing there with a shattered heart and a relationship in ruins.
When it comes closer to actually doing it, she starts, getting nervous. I could start telling from body language and, tone of her voice, she was getting nervous.
We don't need a lie detector test. We just need communication. There's no reason.
She tells me straight out.
If you ask me, Mrs. Threlkeld takes the cake for the most disgraceful person to ever set foot in that courtroom. The lies, the stripping, the cheating, she's done it all with barely a flicker of guilt. Honestly, enough of her excuses and drama. The moment of truth is finally here. Let's see if this child actually belongs to Mr. Threlkeld, or if this is just the final blow in a long list of betrayals.
Mr. Threlkeld, you are Liliana's father.
Mrs. White claims that the only way to save her marriage and family is to prove to her husband he is the father of their 3-year-old daughter. She admits to cheating on him, but hopes that he won't leave her when he finds out the child belongs to him. Well, here is how the case starts.
Ms. White, you've opened your case because your last and only way to save your marriage and family is to prove to your husband that he fathered your 3-year-old daughter, Savannah.
Her marriage is definitely hanging on by a thread. Her husband doesn't even look like he wants to be in that courtroom. All he wants is to know if he's the dad. It does seem like he loves the child though, or could that be a lie?
It's been rough and emotional because when it first all come about to where I had the suspicions, it was she was having an ex-boyfriend come over while I was at work.
She was having an argument with her husband and she called another guy to come to the house. Who does that? I mean, what was she thinking? That the guy she was cheating with would come to her rescue? That's just hilarious.
You just don't have any trust in this relationship.
No, because from a week after we got married until February of this year, I've been catching her cheating constantly.
Talk about a woman who lives her life with 100% delusion. She wants her husband to hold her hand in public, but she thinks he is going to do that when she cheats? What's even funnier is the fact that she blames it on abandonment issues. Like that's gonna cut it.
Find out for sure until she admittedly told me when Savannah was 6 months old that there was a 50-50 chance that Savannah wasn't mine.
Seems to me like he really loves her. If I were to be in his shoes and I caught her cheating, even if it was just once, boy, I am out of that relationship. She should know better than to disrespect her husband.
And I was pissed off, but and at the same time, it was kind of a relief because I knew for a fact that it was actually happening. It wasn't just, oh, it's an assumption, I don't know for a fact.
Isn't he just a perfect man? He literally does everything to make sure his kids and Mrs. White are always taken care of. It just sucks that she had to cheat on him and break his heart. He deserves better than this.
I have text messages proof right here of the most recent is Valentine's Day. She went to another man's house while I'm sitting at the house with the kids.
Well, that's because you didn't even get me anything and you were just yelling at me.
Oh, she did not just say that. Who leaves her family on Valentine's Day and decides they want to go to a park by 9 at night? Yo, this woman needs some serious scolding.
White says, my body's naked, wishing you was in this bed with me. The ex-boyfriend texts back, LOL, you are crazy, about to call you in a minute. Your wife says, LMAO, could you do that for me?
Sometimes, these ladies just don't know when they take things to the very extreme. She's sending this type of text to her ex-boyfriend and she's saying her husband isn't treating her right. I honestly won't blame him if he doesn't, if we're being honest.
It says, you can bring me some cigs, LOL, Al's a blank, and give me a Valentine's Day treat, cause Al not gonna do blank.
Man, is she being serious? I mean, if she doesn't want to be in the marriage, she might as well just say so rather than going about and telling different men she wants to sleep with them. Even Judge Lauren can't hide her irritation.
Happy Valentine's Day. How did you find out about this, Mr. White?
When on Valentine's Day, when I found the text message, I took the entire phone, and I still have possession of the phone at my house.
I am beyond speechless. As if the text messages with other guys were not enough. She even has pictures where she's naked? This is enough grounds for a divorce. It doesn't seem like she really wants to fix the marriage, if you ask me.
You're saying you're not getting what you need in the marriage. So why not just leave the marriage? Why keep doing this if you are gonna engage in this type of activity?
And somehow it feels like she might end up cheating if the kid belongs to Mr. White. Oh well, the DNA results are ready. Let's get to the bottom of all of this, shall we?
It has been determined by this court. Mr. White, you are her father.